Hello, it's John here from the Scruffy Nerd Herder, and today I'm going to start a series of videos going over the early stages of playing Marvel Future Fight. For those of you who don't know what Marvel Future Fight is, it is a mobile app that features the characters from the Marvel comic book universe. I've been playing this game for about 3 years now, and I've grown to love it very much, and recently I've had several friends start as well. Through that, I've learned while the game does have tutorials and does an alright job of teaching you, there's a lot going on in this game. And my objective here is to kind of help guide you through it. I wouldn't consider myself like an all-knowing expert of the game, but I have been playing for a long time, and I've done a lot of research through Reddit and other YouTube videos, and been able to gather a bunch of information to help you out. I hope you enjoy, and let's begin. So when you start up, there will be a small downloading, like any mobile app you go. I did a fresh reinstall, fresh game itself, so that way we can start from the very beginning and walk through this as a team. We're going to let it load in here. And the game itself is going to start by giving you a little introduction to the story. I'm probably going to save this for another video where I'll actually just cut all the story together so that we can go through it. And for these early stages, you're just kind of learning the mechanics of the game. So it really doesn't really matter. There's basically no way of failing this. So now you're going to do a little like quick faux boss fight. Once again, just going to use the abilities you have. I mean, if you really don't care about the story, you can also just click skip up here in the top right and just bypass this entire thing. But, you know, they did spend a lot of time on the story, and while it's not like the greatest thing ever made, it's not bad either. At this point, the game's going to give you its own tutorial. So as I tell you, hit team. Info for bioreactors needed for next character. So, the basic understanding of how you recruit characters in this game is you'll notice down here, there is 10 out of 10. That is the amount of biometrics you need to recruit a character, and you need the biometrics of that character to equal. So the game starts off by giving you 10 Captain America biometrics. So you'll click on it, and then it'll be like, would you like to recruit this character? So you are going to spend the 10 biometrics, but you're going to unlock Captain America. Over here on the right is just going to give you a little, info on the character. Now, your team is always going to consist of 3 people, and so I'm telling you to just drag the little profile over there. So now our team is those 3. So as you can see, it wants us to go into stage 1. And just a little quick note so you understand what you're looking at here. Above here, you see a little yellow box. This means that when we complete this, we're going to get this chest as an award. Now it is telling us to start the mission. Alright, so we're going into our first mission. So once again, you'll use the joystick to move around. Very simple. And you'll now notice you only have 2 moves, 1 and 2. This is because at this point you are a level 1 character with 1 star. You'll see over here move 3 will unlock with 3 stars. Now it's telling us to use a co-op skill. So the co-op skill down here, you'll activate it, and then you'll use a move, and you'll summon your 2 other partners, and they will also use moves. At this point in the game, you're really just kind of like getting used to how the mechanics work. Don't really concern yourself about optimizing or anything like that. For the most part, you're just going to be able to kill everything with auto attacks if you really want to. Alright, so the game's teaching right now is the game has a built-in rock, paper, scissors mode. Speed characters do extra damage and receive less damage from blast characters. Blast characters do more damage and receive less damage from combat characters, and the same thing with combat to speed. And then you have Universal, which is the 4th type. Now Universal does more damage to all 3, but it doesn't have any damage reduction from anyone. As you're going through the story, it doesn't really matter that much because you're just going to outpower it anyways. But PvP and then some in-game PvE stuff, you're going to want to really understand how this works. And it's basically rock, paper, scissors, so it's not a super complex idea. Try attacking the boss here. Once again, they set you up for success. You really shouldn't be able to fail this as long as you just hit your cooldowns whenever they pop back up and then auto attack in between. Alright, so we completed the mission. You'll see we got 3 stars. 3 stars means that all 3 of our people survived. Now, we got a bunch of biometrics for completing the mission. So we have 21 biometrics. We're going to need 10 biometrics. So we have 21, we need 10, so we can do it. So we're going to pay 1,000 gold, and he's going to rank up to star 2. What the stars do is that you have a 1 through 6 stars. And the stars are going to increase your max level all the way up to level 60 at 6 stars. Level 1, star 1 and star 2, your max levels will be 40. And star 3, 45, star 4, 50, 55, and then 60. So we're going to rank up. So we ranked up Captain America, and we gained an agent badge. There's a lot of information coming at you right now, and I'm going to get to it in its own time. I don't want you to be overwhelmed, so we're just going to dismiss that for now. We're going to look at this screen. You'll see that we gained 15 attack, we gained 8 energy attack, so on and so forth. So we're going to close that out. This screen right here is just showing you that we all reached, everyone leveled up. The game likes to throw a lot of information at you, so we're going to let it sit, and we're going to explain this more organically with less just everything coming at you at once. So the game in the beginning is just going to throw a lot of rewards at you. It's going to give you a lot of stuff, and this is where a lot of people mess up, because the game's going to give you a lot of free things, and you may accidentally pick things that you're going to get for free later that you should. So let's look at this screen really quick so you understand how this works. That little yellow box I was talking about earlier, that was 50,000 gold. Yeah. Okay. Gold is your more main currency that you can kind of farm a lot of. So we're going to be using that a lot. Here is showing you how much experience we made it to. So we made it 48% of level through level 2. This little pink icon with a little mask there, that is your uniform experience. That's going to grow up pretty slight over time, and I'll explain more about uniforms later. Like I said, the game likes to throw a lot of information at you. Down here is what we got from this clear. So we got 1 Captain America biometrics here, but we also, for our first clear reward, we got 20 biometrics over here. Along with that, we got Northern Stones of Strength, which once again I'll explain later, and we also got Gear Up Kits, which I'll go back and explain later. Here shows how much shield experience we got. So your shield level is like your account level, and you get access to more things like the lab and whatnot as your shield level goes up. Here's how much gold you got from the mission, and here's how long it took you to do it. Alright, so every day when you come in, you're going to get this screen. So it'll be the first screen you're going to see when you log in every day. This screen is telling you what check-in rewards you're going to get. And once again, the game really likes to give new players lots of stuff. So day 1, the first thing you're going to get for your new 7-day check-in, a 6-star character selector. Which I'll get to explain that a little more in a second. You click over here, the new 28-day check-in. The first thing you're going to get is 100 energy. And then you'll notice that you can kind of click through the weeks to see what you're going to get later on. All those rewards you got from your check-in, they're going to go to your mailbox. You don't have to worry about like selecting anything right then and there. It's going to automatically just go to your mailbox. So that's what this is right here is telling us. So here, this right here is going to tell you, these are your tutorial missions that Netmarble's going to give you to kind of teach you how to play. I'm going to hit later just so we can go over that later. So this is the home menu. Let's explain what this menu is telling you. So here's your shield level, and as I said earlier, this is your account level. It has a maximum level of 70. Something to note is that every time you level up in shield, you're going to get your energy replenished. For that reason, you should never do anything that gives yourself energy until you're either completely out or you're at max level. This is your agent level, and we're going to just talk about that more later. Now, if you click on this little rectangle up here that has your username and then your shield and your agent level, you click that, it's going to go up to your settings. All right, let's move on. So here you have your energy. This is, every time you want to do a game mode for the most part, you're going to have to spend energy. And this is very common in mobile games, app games and whatnot. Next to that, we have crystals. Crystals are the more premium currency. My biggest piece of advice in the beginning here is be very careful how you're going to spend crystals, because they're going to give you a lot of crystals right off the bat, and that's not going to be the normal thing. So you want to really conservatively use those crystals in very strategic ways so that way you can optimize what you're getting out of it. They're going to offer you crystals to do recharges and stuff like that. It's not worth it. It just isn't worth it. Over here we have boost points, like I was talking about earlier. If you click on the boost points, you'll see this menu that kind of explains what boost points do for you. So as long as you have some boost points, you're going to have this first stage. And it's going to increase character experience by 50%. It's going to increase gold increase by 15%. Energy consumption decrease, so basically how much it costs to do stuff, by 40%. And your shield experience by 100%. Now this down here is kind of confusing because it's a binary answer rather than a percentage. But the X means no, and the 0 means yes. Or so if you have over 100, which you can only get through paying crystals or sometimes you'll give it to checkout. Right now there's a sale going in the Alliance store, they'll give them to you. But for the most part, it will only refill on its own to 100. It won't go past 100 on its own. So you are going to have to make it past 100 if you want to pass 100 to get to stage 2. All right, so we're going to close this up. Going on, this little thing right here is your chat. This is the settings menu, which we were already looking at. That's just another way to get to it. Here is your overall menu. This is going to allow you to access a bunch of different things in the game. We'll get to each of these later. Let's go back to the main menu for a second. Over here, this is going to be your account bonuses going on. So right now we have boost points, so we have stage 1 boost points. If you have subscriptions, you'll have them here. If you have experience boosters, you'll have them here. And that's where you're going to see all your account bonuses. All right, over here we have the store. Now the store is where you're going to be spending gold and crystals. Now it is note that every day you're going to get a free hero chest. And this is going to give you a free hero, and if you already have the hero that you roll, because it's completely random, RNG, you're going to get biometrics. If you ever want to see which characters are available, these hourglasses with the lines, or magnifying glasses with the lines, if you click on those, it's going to show you what's available with the chests you're looking at. So all these are possible in there. So we're just going to click on this real quick. And then click on the chest. It's going to pop open. And we got Iron Hammer, Stark Odinson from Infinity Warps. Woo! He's actually a pretty cool character, so it's actually pretty cool we got him. So that guy's going to immediately unlock for us now, which is actually pretty dope. The team here. This is where you click and you're going to see your whole roster. I always like clicking this button here just that way I can see more of the characters because I don't realistically need to see the models for my characters. This is your entire roster. Right now, as you can tell, we only have the 3 characters we start with and then that one I rolled in the chest. All these other characters are the roster we can get. If you click this one right here, you'll have an even bigger view of your roster, but you can't really select your teams. But you'll see there's 194 characters in this game. This game is huge. There's so many cool characters, and they're always updating and adding more. It's one of the reasons I love the game. I'm a huge comic book nerd, hence owning a comic book store. And just the amount of pure Marvel love you see in this game is just so awesome. So the roster's huge. Mind you, not every character's good, but we'll talk about that later. So let's go back to the main menu here. Looking at the down here, you're going to see this event quest. This is not always going to be there. This is only when events are happening. But when the events is happening, I strongly urge you to complete all the objectives. They just reset daily, and you're going to get these tokens, and eventually there's going to be an event store where you can spin the tokens. And the event store always has really cool stuff in it. Next to that, you have the Shield Academy. This is your tutorial zone. And you're going to want to do all these because if you notice, the first reward you get for completing 3 of the missions is a 6-star Captain America Sharon Rogers. And if you click once again, if you click this little icon, it's going to show you what else you're going to be able to get. And by clearing stage 5 of the Academy, you're going to get a tier 2 6-star Sharon Rogers, which this right here is going to make you clear all this early, boring, beginning content very quickly. And you're going to do that by going through these tutorials. Okay, so on to next. We have this little button here. We're going to click this. Now, this is your dailies. So every day, you're going to want to go in here and basically clear all these out. Right now, the only one we have unlocked is Legendary Battle, which I'm going to explain a lot because it's really important early on. You want to make sure you go to here and get your free characters. But if you click on these other ones, it'll tell you what you need to do. So once we clear story mission 1-5, we'll unlock memory missions. So before I hit the enter button and go over game modes, let's click up here really quick. This is your menu. Your menu of menus, if you will. You have your settings, which I'm not going to click on again, and you have your agent. So let's click on agent real quick. So you have 2 different things that determine your agent level. You have your agent badge and your hero badge. Your hero badge is leveled up just by ranking up heroes. And ranking up is different from leveling up. Ranking up is by giving them more stars. Leveling up is by increase your level. So you only get hero badge by ranking up the characters, giving them more stars. Well, as you level up your agent level, you're going to get bonuses down here that you can spend. Now, the internet and myself and other people are kind of torn on what you should spend it on. I personally recommend putting all of your points into gold acquisition early on. Mostly because all attack, all defense, and XHP, these aren't going to help you early in the game. They're just not. They're not going to give you enough, honestly, to help you at all. Now, the only other thing that I can kind of argue that you may want to do instead of gold acquisition is a character experience. But I feel like characters level up fast enough. But if you really feel like you're not leveling up your characters fast enough, you could put them in character experience. But once again, I do recommend just putting it in gold acquisition. All right, let's head back really quick to the menu. Next, we have uniforms, which goes back to that uniform menu I showed you earlier. After that, we have team, which is going to take you to the team. After that, we have the Marvel Universe. This is a menu you're probably really never going to go to. It's really cool, though. But if you ever see a character like, who's this character? I want to know more about him. You can go to this menu. You can click on them. You can see their stats. You can kind of like click through them to see what how their potential is going to be. You can go over to info. And this is a really cool part. You can go to info here and you can see their real name, their height, their weight, their side, who their type is, like a lot of allies, which is like human, aliens, and whatnot, what gender they are if you have questions about that. And you also have their abilities. So each character has these like abilities that they don't really show unless you look for them in details, but they're going to be different. And then they also have a bio down here. So if you're not like super familiar with the comic books and you're really interested, you can look here. And over to the left here, you'll see which uniforms they have available. Which characters have multiple uniforms. So his base uniform is this little uniform here. Adorable, right? And then you have his uniform from Civil War, which is pretty cool. And then you have his uniform from the Black Panther movie. Ooh, yeah, cool. And then you can also hit preview skills, which will take you to a a danger room, if you will, if you're familiar with X-Men, and allow you to like test your skills and stuff. And you can also hit location, and it'll tell you where you can get their biometrics to unlock them and increase their rank. Alright, so let's just head back to this menu again. So after Marvel Universe, you have your inventory, which is pretty self-explanatory. And here's your friends list. After friends, you have your inbox. Then you have cards. And I'm just going to do cards later because that's a lot of information. Then you have the lab, which you need to clear story 2.2 to get to. Then you have challenges. So here's the thing about challenges. It's another thing you're going to want to do every single day. When you're starting off, the challenges are going to be literally just clear missions. As you finish missions, you'll acquire, you'll get energy, and you'll get shield points. So we're going to acquire that real quick. Yay! Look at that. I already leveled up. So now my energy cap went up to 41, and I got a full recharge of energy. And these other ones are going to be in progress. Things that aren't mission storylines, actually you can just click go to, and it'll send you to the page that you can complete it. You'll notice over here, there is Achieve Daily Challenges challenge, if you will. Every 6 you do, you're going to be able to get these checkpoints. So 55 energy, 45 clear tickets, 200,000 gold, 100 energy, and then of course your grand prize of 30 crystals. This resets weekly. If you notice that I started off in a midweek, so I only actually have 3 days worth, so I'm not going to be able to get all of them. But I'm still going to want to complete it because when you complete all 5 daily challenges, you're going to get 25 crystals every day. And that's going to be a major part of your crystal income. So you're going to make sure you want to do that because, like I said, crystals are premium currency. You want as much as you can get. All right, we're going to go to daily trivia now. Daily trivia is not as fun as it sounds, but it is a way to get free energy. And then achievements. This is where you're going to get achievements. And if you've played a video game before, I'm sure you know what achievements are. All right, moving on. So we're going to head down to Game Guide. And here's a glossary for you that's going to show you everything you want to know about the game. You go to your alliance. I'm not part of an alliance right now, but I want to be because, once again, alliances are super awesome to be a part of because you get bonuses. So let's find an alliance I can join. Now, you'll see a lot of alliances have shield level requirements. And that's because these people want to do in-game alliance material, and they don't really want a person who can't support them to help. So what you're going to look for your first alliance is an alliance that has a high level and empty slots and no shield requirement. The thing I'm looking for is these alliance bonuses right here. They're level 30, which means that I'm going to get character experience bonus. I'm going to get gold gain. I'm going to get critical damage increase. I'm going to get critical rate increase. I'm going to get dodge rate increase. I'm going to get decreased skill cooldown, which is great. That's why you want to be part of an alliance. All right, so now we've gone through the whole menu. And we are ready to play the game in theory. So I'm going to hit enter here. And we're going to go all of the modes available. If you notice, nothing is available right now besides story missions and legendary battle. So let's go into legendary battle really quick. This is the first thing you really want to do. So it's going to explain to you what legendary battle is. So basically legendary battle is, hey, a new MCU movie came out. let's make a mission about the MCU movie. So there's all sorts. It started with Thor Ragnarok, you got Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and Wasp, Captain Marvel, Endgame, and now Far From Home. The reason you want to go to this as quickly as possible is because you're going to get a bunch of free characters. So just from going into Thor Ragnarok, you're going to, entering this first one, wow, look at that. I have a 6-star Thor now. Isn't that awesome? Just for free. I literally did nothing and now I have it. And now my agent badge went up, like I said, once you rank up a character. Then we're going to back out. We're going to do that for each one. The last thing I kind of want to talk about for this video is what you're going to do with these two. Now, there are some excellent guides online, and I do recommend doing a little reading. But I'm going to give you my recommendation as to what you should pick for each of these. So we're going to pick the 1-star selector first. Realistically, with these choices, really pick whoever you want because no one on here is really hard to farm. Now, here's the big one, right? Your 6-star selector. Now, this is the one you really want to think about before you select something. Because getting a free 6-star character is really cool and very, you want to spend it well. So, the first thing I want to tell you when you're picking a character like this, you want to look at this little purple, I will say, bar right here. This is going to tell you how you can get their biometrics normally. So if you see a character further down this list, like, let's say, Black Panther, can be acquired from story missions. You really don't want to pick one of those characters for a 6-star selector because story mission characters are really easy to farm. So getting them a 6-star isn't that hard. So you don't want to pick anyone like that. Once again, it's a lot to think about when you're selecting your character here. So when you pick the 6-star selector, you really want to make sure you know what you're doing because it is such a nice, unique thing. So some really good options right off the bat for selecting this character. You have Minerva, who's a pretty good character for free-to-play people. And once again, she is you can't farm her from story missions. You can only get in the shop, so she's kind of annoying to farm. You also have Molten Man, who's a newer character, and he's actually pretty good too. You also have Iron Hammer, who I know a lot of people say he's probably the best choice for this. I really like him. He has a good leadership, which we'll get into leaderships and everything like that. You also have Shuri, but realistically, we're going to actually save the Shuri pick for later because we're going to want to tier her to her real quick because she's a support character. So picking her now isn't really the best option because we're going to want to get her later with the tier 2 selector. Like I said, your best choices are Molten Man, Korath's pretty good, Minerva's pretty good, Morgan Le Fay's pretty good, Iron Hammer's pretty good, and that's probably your best picks for this first selector. I really do encourage you to do a little research first to see who you want to pick, but for my recommendations, those 4 or 5 I said are probably your best picks. I'm going to pick Molten Man only because he's a new character and I really haven't had too much of a chance to play with him yet. So I'm just going to pick Molten Man. So there we go. And that's all I'm really going to cover in this first video. For your first day, you're going to want to get through as much story missions as you possibly can. And I'm probably going to do another video here really shortly where I go over that as well. But that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please like it with a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day.